We spend a lot of our time trying to find the right answers, trying to find clarity, trying to make sense of shit that happens in our lives. And a lot of times we get to a point where we feel like, yeah, I'm really clear about what I want to do. I'm starting in this new direction. I'm heading out in this other way. I recognize that what I'm doing or what I had been doing needs to change. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Hey, I'm Mel Morris. I am the magical matchmaker. That's the new super title I'm going with because that feels really good. Yeah, I'm the magical matchmaker and chief magic officer at WTF with Mel. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about September, right? The energy of September, the energy of nines. September is the ninth month. And I want to really talk about clarity. I know you're like, all right, we've talked about clarity so many times, but it's so important. And I recognize for myself that all month I'm going to be sharing with you my own clarity in clarifying my clarity. So stick with me. So, in our intro today, you saw me post about not just the Three of Wands, which I will pop up here in a few minutes, but about what was really interesting. If you've known me for any length of time, you know that Earth, Wind, and Fire is my all-time favorite band because it's the all-time best band ever. And if you don't agree with me, you can go ahead and unfriend me right now. Just kidding. But in thinking about September, right, I can't think about September and not think about Earth, Wind, and Fire and their beautiful song, September. And when I was thinking about what September means for me and what I wanted to share with all of you, I thought it was really interesting. I'm going to pull their lyrics up here. Or just kind of go over the first piece of the lyrics because I thought that was really insightful from the song of what I want to talk about in terms of finding clarity in ways that we don't always open up about, that we don't always believe for ourselves. So by that, I mean, we spend a lot of our time trying to find the right answers, trying to find clarity, trying to make sense of shit that happens in our lives. And a lot of times we get to a point where we feel like, yeah, I'm really clear about what I want to do. I'm starting in this new direction. I'm heading out in this other way. I recognize that what I'm doing or what I had been doing needs to change. And we make changes, right? But sometimes, many times, we stop. We stop right there. We stop at the initial understanding of what that clarity means because we're like, we already did it, right? Or we've already told ourselves, like, yes, I'm making changes. It's working. Let's just go with it. But real clarity requires us to continue to listen, to continue to grow, right? You've heard me say before, we get to make a choice and then make another choice, right? You don't have to stick with that one choice that you made, right? And so when we look at the lyrics, and again, I'm just going to like literally read the lyrics, the first set of lyrics from the song September. And so it's, do you remember the 21st night of September? Love was changing the mind of pretenders while chasing the clouds away. Our hearts were ringing in the key that our souls were singing. I want you to keep that one in mind. As we danced in the night, remember, got a little thing here. Remember how the stars, I forgot the next line. But the point here is, think about those lyrics, right? Think about how often, how much time we spend, right, looking for this clarity. And when we really need to think about what do we need to change, right? If we're trying to grow, if we're trying to build, if we're trying to move from one space to the next, what do we have to stop and say, okay, stop pretending that you know all the answers to all the things, because you don't, none of us do, right? What do I need to be doing that's differently, right? And the line about, our hearts ringing, how many times have you finally realized, finally grasped the concept, finally got connected to something that felt so good to you, that you knew inside was so important, was so who you were, that when you finally get there, when you finally act on that thing, it just feels amazing, right? And that's what that line is. Our hearts were ringing in the key that our souls were singing, right? So our souls, our intuition, our higher power, our connection to spirit, to God, to goddess, to the divine, whatever you call it, that connection is the most powerful thing that we have, the most powerful tool that we have, that when we listen to it, everything else is possible, right? And so when we think about, again, these lyrics in terms of connecting, and I mean, the group obviously was very connected to spirituality and growth and Eastern philosophies, especially. But I just thought it was just so amazing. I never really stopped to think about it. But that's really the answer for us, right? And so as we think about September, the month of September, if we think about the number 9 specifically, right, this is a time of ending things, right? Ending, closing out, completing what we've been working on, completing things that, either we've literally finished doing a thing and we need to pack it up and put it away, or realize that there are certain things that, don't have a specific ending, but that we need to put down so that we can move on to something else, right? So if that makes sense, pop in the chat here, something that that you need to put down so that you can move on, because this is that time. And so I started out by saying that this month I want to really, be open and vulnerable. And I've done this before, sort of in June, where I talk about my past. I don't love talking about myself in particular. Maybe that's the Cancer in me. I don't know. But I've done a lot of things in my life that have been really amazing. I've learned a lot from so many people, from doing so many different things. And the work that I do, the clarity that I try to offer to other people, you probably all know, is much harder to embrace individually than it is to offer that advice to somebody else, right? Give me a heart on that one, if that makes sense to you. But so for me, over the last several months, I really have been, even though for the last, let's say, year and a half, I felt like I really was honing in. I really was moving in towards being really clear about what I wanted to do with my business and how I wanted to grow it. I have a lot of ideas, right? How many of you have a lot of ideas that get you sidetracked pretty easily, right? So I had to step back and say to myself, using these amazing lyrics from Earth, Wind, and Fire, that love or inspiration in my case, what was changing my mind about how was I really being clear, right? Was I really being open and honest about what I wanted for myself and for my business? And when I realized that, you know what, I really wasn't. I was telling myself that, and it was maybe more clear than it had been in the past. But realistically, was I being clear? No, I was telling myself that bullshit, right? It happens. Let me know if you understand what I'm saying. And so I am in the process now of really changing things towards clarity, right? Making sure that for all of you who, watch me, who have worked with me, who have thought about working with me, who may see this in the future and are like, oh my gosh, why haven't I already been working with her? Um, I I think it's important that I remind myself and remind all of you again that clarity is an ongoing process, right? That we have to keep growing. So I want to be super clear about what I do, right? And I would love for each of you, whenever you watch this, or if you're here now, type it in the chat to, just put in a comment about what you're trying to be really clear about. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. What you're trying to be really clear about in your life, right? And again, keeping in mind that it's a process. You may not be there yet, right? And I'm personally happy to help you if that's the case. But for me, what I do, I help people uncover their truths, uncover the answers that they have within them using things like tarot, right? And other personal development tools. That's what I do, plain and simple, right? I do lots of things. I think I'm, pretty good at quite a few things. But as a business, that's what I do. My whole goal, my whole job, all the things, in a perfect world, all I would do all day long is sit right here and talk to folks just like you about how they can find their clarity, right? And not how can I continue forever and ever and ever to help you find clarity? No, because again, that's bullshit, right? I want you to understand how to find your clarity for yourself because as we evolve, as we continue to grow, as we continue to learn, we have to know for ourselves how to continue to make those changes, to recognize when it's time to put something down and start something new, right? So that's what I do. Just to be clear, in case there was any confusion about, wow, she's amazing. She does so much. She talks about all the things. I do. Thank you. Um, but no, I just want to be really clear that that's what I do. My tarot sessions, my workshops, all of those things always lead back to helping folks just like you whenever there's a transition in your life, whenever there's something amazing going on that you want to make bigger, if you're starting a new job, you're ready to move out into the world of dating, if you're ready to move out of the world of being in a marriage that's kind of shitty, right? Whatever it is in your life, my job, my business, what I can help you with is finding the truth about that situation for yourself, right? And start showing you how to continue to connect, to see, to experience what it's like when you're connecting to your intuition so that you can do it for yourself in the future, right? Not so you can just keep giving me money. I'm happy to take your money, right? It is a business, but I'm not the kind of person who just wants to take a bunch of money from anybody and pretend like I'm doing something that I might not be doing, right? That I'm doing something that you can't do for yourself. You can absolutely find your own truth, discover your own truth, connect to your own intuition. And I feel like it's important that I remind you, if nobody else is, of how amazing that you are, right? How you can be more successful, how you can be happier, how you have all of these amazing opportunities, right? Especially during those times when you just can't see it for yourself. And we all go through that, right? So that's my clarity for today that I wanted to impart on you. I certainly hope that you will appreciate that. And I would love to hear the clarity about you, about what you're going through, something that you're experiencing, again, something that you're setting down to make room for something else, right? I am going to circle back to the Three of Wands, but I always pull a card before I come on here, and I wanted to just show you guys. Let me pull it up on my other camera. This mountain card, and I love when you see it. I'm gonna put both of us, I guess, on the screen. Yeah. this is an oracle card, right? This is the Enchanted Map deck from Colette Baron Reed, and I love this deck. This is a newer deck for me, but I always ask kind of what do I need to share with all of you? What do I need to give to all of you? And the Mountain card came up, and this card really is about recognizing, right? First, recognizing that big things are going to come up in your life that are going to get in the way. That's just a reality, right? Don't pretend it's not going to happen. Recognize it, right? For me, the first thing that jumped out at me when I looked at this was the light shining down on that mountain. And it's a recognition that big things get in your way, period, right? The second piece to that is how many times do we tell ourselves like we have to find a way to climb over that mountain, right? We have to get our pickaxes out and chip away at whatever this problem is, right? And whittle it down until it doesn't exist anymore. And yay, we conquered it, right? I mean, that's an option, but how much of your time and energy and life are you wasting trying to chop down every mountain that shows up, right? If you look in the book, in the description of what this card is, it asks like, does the river concern itself with how am I going to whittle down this mountain? No, it goes around the mountain, right? It's like, oh, I could just go right. I could just go right here around the mountain. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a big thing in my way. Oh, let me just go around it. Look how easy that is, right? It's not losing sleep over, ooh, how can I conquer that mountain? Sometimes the big problems that are in your way, you can just go around them, right? We tell ourselves they're big and they're important and they're insurmountable, but you could just go around them. Everything doesn't have to be a challenge that you need to conquer, right? And that really was the message that I got from the mountain card today. I hope that resonates with all of you. And again, back to, for me and the challenge of finding clarity, right? A part of me wants to always like, how can I make this thing happen? Instead of just like, how can I just let that shit go? How can I just let it go and move on, right? And that has been what my clarity has looked like and felt like recently. And it feels pretty freaking great, right? So let's talk for a second about I do have this picture up here. Let's talk about this Three of Wands for a minute. So in the spread, so I started doing these 5 card pulls for each week. And if you haven't seen this week's already, you can check in Instagram on the WTF with Mel Instagram page. You can check out the IGTV there, or you can go to my YouTube channel, and there will be a link somewhere here if it's not already to go and check that out on YouTube. But the overall card that we had this week was the Three of Wands. Now, the rest of the cards that I pulled were about really a lot of reflection, right? This week, all the cards that I pulled really indicated that this really was a time to reflect. And I think September in general it is that time. It's that time again to figure out where we come, what needs to be, put away or let go of so that we can recreate, right? The fall is getting ready to start. Again, time of kind of harvesting, if you will, right? And so for the overall card to be this Three of Wands, which is much more about kind of setting forth onto a new adventure or discovering kind of what else is out there, it was really a reminder for me that, again, in order to get to this point, to this Three of Wands, to this card of creating magic with other people, right, outside of ourselves, in order to start doing that, which is what this Three of Wands really indicates, we have to go through that reflection, right? We have to figure out where we've come and where we are now so that we can move forward, right? And so as you think about September, and I'm going to say it here and put it out into the universe so that I do it, I'm going to really focus on doing a lot of videos this week, just talking, just being here for you and answering questions that you have about, how you can set things down this month and get ready for what's upcoming. I am going to be doing some fun things in the group. So if you're not already in the WTF with Mel Facebook group, make sure you join us over there, because I've been asking folks in the group what they want to see more of. And so I'm going to be doing more fun stuff in the group as well. So I hope you can join us over there. But I really want you to spend the rest of this week and really September, right, thinking about preparing yourself for what's next. That's what nines are. That's what September is all about, right? Stop telling yourself you have all the answers. It's okay that you don't. None of us do, right? But just be real with yourself. Just find that clarity for yourself. Let me know. Let me know the mountains that are coming up for you. Let me know the amazing ideas that you have, right? The things that that you want to do but feel like you can't, right? Let me know that. And as much as I can help, I'm happy to, right? So I'm going to end here. I feel like I can't see any of the comments, so I apologize now. I will check back afterwards, but I don't have necessarily anything coming up here on my screen. But I do want to remind you about 2-Minute Tarot, and that it's a free option for you, again, as we talk about and think about how we can clear away things, how we can start to make this new path for ourselves. I'd love for you to send me a question. You can click here. You can go to the website. It's again, it's totally free. You can ask me a question. I'll pull a card for you, and I'm going to send you a video that's going to be about 2 minutes long. I mean, again, I'm chatty, so it might be a little bit longer, but it's just to give you a real brief overview of what I see around your question. Right. So it looks a little bit different than what a session would be with me. And I'm also going to be showing you guys what that looks like. I'm going to have some people doing some live readings. So if you're interested in that, also let me know. I am going to be running a little contest. So if you get a free 2-Minute Tarot reading, you're going to be entered into a drawing to join me live for one of these lovely lives. And we'll do a little mini reading. And so people can kind of see what it looks like and how it looks different than a traditional tarot reading. But yeah, you can go and do this right now. I know you got questions. We all have questions. Why not get a little bit of free information, right, from me and from the cards? So I hope that was helpful for everyone today. Let me pop this down. Again, I'd love to hear any of your questions. I'd love to hear what you got going on in September. And you can expect to see a lot more of me this month. And I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited about what's upcoming. And I want to hear all about what's upcoming for you. So I will talk to you all soon. Love you so, so much. Enjoy September and stay magical, everybody.